Call to order the Bucksport Infrastructure and Property Committee meeting for Thursday, December 14th. Roll call. Mark Eastman's here. Paul Bissonette. Here. Ed Rankin.
Here.
Next item is an easement request, and I'm going to move myself over since I'm on the agenda. No, you give that.
Oh, I sure can.
Gotcha. So, what I'm asking, what I needed from the planning board was the ability to access my lot for this project via a town-owned piece. This is part of a bigger piece that used to go up to Franklin and encompasses the sidewalks. I'd like it if there was any willingness to get the piece from the town, just to square off the lot. And there's a couple reasons for it. It would help in developing the project. And then later on, when we hopefully get the VPI, I would be more than willing to work with the town on the Central Street side to put a sidewalk, so it would be equal. The land would be about equal. I think it's about 2/10 of an acre less. That's where I'm at. Any questions that I can point out to people?
So you're just asking for that little corner section in exchange for,
This, and in exchange, I will provide the sidewalk, assuming it goes through.
if it gets
When
voted
it
through?
gets through, to come along here, because we're not gonna be able to get out into that roadway really.
So is yours all the green, Mark? Is that what it is right now?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Can we go to that other one, the GIS first? This is what it looks like on the ground, but I thought I owned it when I bought it. I surveyed and determined I didn't. And you can see even the town still thinks I do. But what I'm looking for is this it's this grassy area, and it's just coming along my line here and then coming to the same point here that I'm on. And then just to point out again, when when and if a sidewalk comes in, I'd be more than willing to work with the town to get a sidewalk on Central Street.
And so the entrance to this, to get to the food trucks, is off Franklin, though, right into that parking lot?
Yeah, I mean, what I'd like to do is bring the trucks in here, kind of visualize here, and then, park them around a patio here. I can go back.
Would you need back to the first one?
Yeah.
Yes.
The what truck?
Food trucks.
So what I
You get a
intend to do is use the barn for
All in favor?
just covered space. I'm just gonna make it safe and usable, so there's place in the rain. A patio off this, and the food trucks will go around here. I'm meeting with an engineer next month, but I'm trying to get a little ahead of the process. So I don't have exact locations, but this would give me a lot of area for food trucks and/or.
And I hate to have Rich stand back up again, but. So coming off Central Street, that unnamed town road, I assume, or discontinued road, is
This road here?
is that the one that you're talking about there?
No, I'm talking about coming in
Yep.
here, through here, and then I'm gonna create a path back to Central Street. On this side.
A walking path, a path,
It
right?
may be, I haven't determined yet, it may be that the food trucks can get out there, but I would have a bollard in there. I'm also willing to let people come through to get to the parking lot as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But this would really open up, because the reality is with this barn, we can go back to, we're both short. If I wanted to do anything on this side of the barn, I've only got about 6 feet before I run into a setback. So if this would give me the ability to do something, coffee shop, sandwich shop, something on that side eventually. But for the moment, it's food trucks and it would be around here.
The church.
I've talked, he's come to the planning board meeting and was fully supportive, and I talked to Lori Hunt with the Congo Church and there were no issues.
They wouldn't mind them people coming through their parking lot.
I mean, it's a municipal parking lot, but what I did say to them was I would work with them around Sunday to make sure that, that doesn't present a challenge.
Yeah, because the town owns the parking lot itself.
Well, the town, we have a municipal agreement. We don't own,
We own that
We own one of them.
close to the,
Yes.
close to
where he
the.
is.
we own this one, the town. This is all under an agreement.
Oh, okay.
But I've talked to Lori, and she's the chair of the trustees, and I've talked to Mike Donato at the church, and they're fine.
That's exactly.
But we
Yes,
maintain
right?
that.
We gotta go through this
Yeah,
to get
that,
to ours
that big
anyway.
parking lot is where the town tells RVs where they can park. This is the RV parking lot. And what it is right now is the town is maintaining all of this area here, but we actually technically own to here. So this should be more of a rectangle, and Mark should own
That's what I
like
presently.
this
Right.
presently. So this part isn't accurate,
We
but
couldn't even use it.
And that access off Elm Street, is
What the
that
heck's it matter?
on the lower end? That's accessible though to the vehicle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's an access point to the,
Yeah.
to the parking lot as well. And the truth is, all the town does is mow it. It's 30 by 80 foot that they mow.
Who else is a direct abutter of that chunk of land other than you?
Dino and the church.
Okay.
Dino already
Dino
did work
owns
on the
that?
town's.
Well, yeah, Dino's.
Yeah, he's
on
already
it.
improved the.
He's
parking
already
lot.
improved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. It would make it a lot easier, and if I bring in engineers,
And just for my curiosity, who's below you, Mark, on the
the
Angel?
Baptist church.
That- okay.
Entirely.
Yeah.
And he's even said that people can park there as well, but I'm not counting on that. So that's the request.
And our past practice is just to, usually if we have a piece of land like that, we divide it among the abutters, correct?
If that's what they want, but in the past, we've had abutters that have agreed, look, I don't want that.
So we could do that here.
Correct.
And it'd be past practice.
Yep.
Well, and it really,
But no
that
one
piece
abuts
doesn't
it.
abut.
It abuts town land only.
Yeah, it doesn't really abut Dino because it comes down here and goes this
Yeah,
way.
the only piece that abuts is that little town.
Oh, okay, it doesn't go far enough into to really abut Dino.
No,
Right.
no.
Corner to corner.
All right.
And right
But
here,
it's
this
really
is where
doing is
Dino's put in
backing it
that,
up to the,
the driveway
where the
right
parking
here.
lot is.
He's over here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So in other words, we take this action in that picture, and the boundaries that are on the picture then become
Becomes real.
correct.
Yes,
Right, got
makes
it.
sense.
Yep.
What we've been saying it was, becomes what
What
it
he's getting
is.
taxed on.
And what the town's mulling.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the goal, and my hope is to have it open this summer.
Wow.
This is another one of those little pieces of property that we seem to keep discovering that once upon a time probably connected something to something, but hasn't connected something to anything. For, and there would be no use for anyone.
Well, I think what it was originally, these two lots came down to
If
here,
and when you've got that sidewalk.
and this piece acquired it over time, and then this is the last
That
of
would
that
be,
piece.
that's a nice spot.
I think we make out well as a town with the walkway he's
Right.
talking about, connecting that to Central Street. That's a nice
Yep.
bonus
Sure.
for us out of that deal.
And I'm not gonna give an easement on that, but I will definitely give permission to
Right.
use it, you know. I just don't wanna cut myself in half that way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. Yep.
That's perfect. Makes sense. Yours is the only lot not square.
So I assume.
It would be on the
On the
January.
January agenda for,
About,
yeah,
That's fine.
is it a purchase or is it a give, or what's, is there any
it's
discussion on that?
it's,
Sign
it would
off?
be written up as a trade for the sidewalk.
I'm happy to assign any, assign, or whatever it needs to be for a trade,
Yeah,
because
For the
when and if a
sidewalk that
sidewalk
we
comes in, I'll
want
give
in
that.
front of-
I think just make sure you have the language written up that it stipulates that we're making this lot in lieu of.
In return for
In
an
return
easement
for-
for a,
right,
for a,
right, right.
for a sidewalk. And I could probably get a description, I've got a surveyor working on it now, so I'll get a description of that as well.
So we just need a motion to recommend.
A motion to recommend to the council to put this on the next agenda.
Motion to recommend to the council to put it on the next agenda.
Second. All those in favor?
Oh, wait, hold on.
You know,
can vote.
thanks for that.
Did you like that?
We appreciate you participating in that right back.
Okay. Item 3, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?